October 8th, 2013, got up like I always did, and Tuesday was our alternate running day where we took off for the SHG track and wanted to do our speed work. We're both training, it was 4 of us training for the Springfield's first marathon and half marathon. But anyway, we had, Mike Ryan and I had run our first mile just as a warm-up, just to kind of get the legs loosened up. And we stopped and we were getting ready to do our speed work, and I went to check my watch to make sure it was set. And the next thing I knew, I woke up 2 days later looking at my family in the hospital. And that's, I remember nothing beyond that. Mike Ryan, who my partner was, actually was checking his watch as well and heard a thump. And he looked back, and there I was, and my eyes were in the back of my head. He had the presence of mind to run from the track out to his car to call 911, and there was another gentleman by the name of Greg Keyes, who we never met before, didn't know him. He grabbed him and said, "Can you help my buddy while I call 911?" And he immediately took off and happened to know CPR. I was presented in the emergency room, and Dr. David Griffin was the first one to see me and made the decision to try to revive me.
Mr. Rudis' heart was not pumping blood. It was in ventricular fibrillation, meaning it was undulating like a can of worms and not effectively pumping any blood. That's a non-survivable rhythm. That is a rhythm that that ends in death. And that is what rhythm he was in when he came in the emergency department, and what he was in when the pre-hospital care providers found him. The team that was assembled in the emergency department basically worked flawlessly. We had techs, we had emergency department specialists that were performing CPR and trading off about every minute. And that's important because effective CPR is a very important component of getting back a sustainable rhythm. CPR was excellent, and getting the IVs established and medication on board, and after more than one attempt at defibrillating, we finally were able to defibrillate him into a perfusing rhythm where he got a pulse back. We made the call to make a star 80, and that got Mr. Rudis to the cardiac catheterization lab in rapid fashion, where the cardiologist could reperfuse him. And I think that was also key in his survivability.
Once I got into the cath lab, things started going pretty well. Dr. Stephen Chen put a couple stents in me, and things were going well. I think I flatlined in the cath lab once again, so that was like the 3rd time. And but they got me going back, and essentially spent the rest of the day just trying to recover from that in intensive care with the most wonderful care in the world that Memorial could provide. I mean, it's just an incredible experience. One of the 2 ICU nurses on 7, Becky, she told me today, she'd been in nursing 32 years, and her time spent with me made her nursing career, and that's a very humbling thought. So I'm so pleased to be able to give back and finally meet her, to thank her for what she's done. I've been around to see the ambulance driver. I've been around to see the man that gave me CPR, and seeing Becky was, and of course thanking Dr. Mack and Dr. Chen, but seeing Becky just kind of closes another chapter on being able to thank the very people that had a part in saving my life and giving me the wonderful recovery that I'm experiencing. Every day is a blessing.
This is exactly why we do what we do. This is why we learn what we learn, practice what we practice, work on the processes that we work on team training, work on quality improvement. Mr. Rudis is the poster child of why we do what we do, and we're very grateful that he was our patient and very grateful that we can do what we can do.